Let's turn on this body small heater. So we have the knob off, pilot, low and high positions. We need to depress a little bit the knob, just a little bit to be able to rotate it. Stop just above this small sign, and we are going to click down and to keep it down, and we want to see a small blue flame right there. Let's just click again. Now keep it for a few seconds, otherwise the flame can turn off. Just a few seconds to be sure the flame is steady. And then we are going to depress it, and we are going to switch right to the high. I'll explain why in a second. So depress a little bit. Sometimes it's stuck in here, so just be sure, fiddle a little bit with it. Go first on high because we want this element to be glowing orange very quickly. That will make the burning more efficient, less carbon monoxide. So start always with high first. Even though you can start it on low, start always with high and wait maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute on high. That will give you a better burning, will just heat up these elements, and when you switch back to low, it'll make sure the gas is burning properly, cleanly, and more efficient. And that's a good safety way to start it. Right now, I think it's glowing pretty much nicely. I will just depress the button a little bit because on each position it's engaged. You cannot rotate it, just depress a little bit, and let's switch it to low. You see it will lock into low, just like that. You heard that click, it's locking there. Now you can actually keep it depressed and position it in between the two, just like that. However, the instruction says not to leave it there, always either on high, either on low. Why? Because in between them the burning is not complete. You get more carbon monoxide. It's not as safe. It's not a good idea. That's what the manual says. And by the way, no matter what you see the test on internet with those detectors, always have ventilation on and never go to sleep in a enclosed area where this thing burning. It's not safe. Just keep it safe. Let's just try to see how much heat it goes. So I'm going to put my hand maybe this being on low. I'm perhaps 8 inches above, and I can tell that I do feel the heat to my hand, but it's slightly burning my hand, but I have no problem keeping it here. I would say on low it's not much heat. I don't think it's really much heat coming out of it. It is, but not much. Just switch to high. I depress it a little bit, and then I lock it into high. It's good. You know, when you turn it, it's good to leave it and then see when it locks. Just like that. So you are really safely on either high or low and not in between. Just give it a few seconds to warm up properly. And do my hand test again. So by the way, the pilot light, it's always running. Always. It's wasting a little bit of gas somehow, but it always has to run. If it goes off, the unit should shut off. So I'm keeping my hand, 8 inches. No, it's burning my hand. It's too much. Perhaps 1 feet above, it's still quite burning my hand. So I would say on high, there is quite a good heat. It's not a huge heat. These are small canister, but it's a good heat. And one thing you notice, always when you run it, lower the handle so it doesn't get hot from the heat and smells plastic. And you should never run it on anything like this. The flow already started to get hot here, so whatever the surface here, make sure it cannot heat up. Use whatever you think it's safe, nothing plastic, nothing wood. So careful with this. It's not so bad, but be careful with this because the heat, even here the heat is really strong. It's almost burning my hand here. be sure what you use on this surface. Now, one of the things it says, read the instructions, and by the way, you have the instruction behind it. One of the thing is sometimes the device may shut off if there's not enough oxygen in the room, or you cannot turn it on if it's not enough oxygen, but that do not rely on that thing to have it shut off by itself. Always have ventilation. Now, you can use small bottles like this, and it seems that on high it will last for about 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. On low it will last maybe 4.5 hours, a small bottle. I believe the 20-gallon tank will last about 20 hours. Now when you turn it off, let's just turn it off. We need to always leave it here to off. So depress, always keep it to off. Now if you are storing it inside, always remove the small bottle. If you don't remove the small bottle, be sure to store it outside. If you are using a 20-gallon tank, always close first the tank and let it shut off by itself to burn all the gas inside. Only then switch it here to off. That's for the big tanks. Last thing, it has a tip-off mechanism. You can test it. You can hear it inside, and I have to say, at least for the first hours burning, it does smell a little bit like burnt metal, burnt plastic. It has a weird smell to it, but that's how it goes. Thanks for watching.